Hello, I'm Melissa, and today I'm going to be cleaning this Commodore 64. I had come across it while I was at a Goodwill store. I'd kind of gone out just hoping to see if I could find a vintage computer, hopefully a Commodore 64, and came right across it. So I went ahead and picked it up. I have tested it now, and I'm going to actually be doing a series of videos on this. Works great other than a few of the keys don't work sometimes, notably the space bar. Sometimes I have to hit it in just the right spot somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to be looking for that as I clean it. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be taking this apart, and I probably won't be cleaning the bottom, but I want to at least clean the top here, as well as take off all the keys and clean those. I have an Enzyme Buster. I believe my friend told me this was PBW, which is powdered brewery wash, which you can find at any beer supply store. It's meant for cleaning any kind of organic particles off of stuff, and since a keyboard is probably filthy with from people's hands, I figured it would be a really good thing to use. I'm going to take the keys and springs off and put them in here. I got all my tools here, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start. Now to note, before I started, I went ahead and I took a picture of the keyboard so that I would know where all the keys went. I mean, there's these screws. That up. That. And that. I like to use a paintbrush to brush off dust. Okay. Note that the ones holding in the keyboard are just a little bit shorter than the ones holding the outside of the case. One interesting thing I noticed on this unit is it has somebody's phone number named R. Gilbert, and I wonder if that may be like Ron Gilbert or something. I'll have to get in touch with him and ask him if this is was his computer or not, because I know he had developed on a Commodore 64. Could also be a friend of his, maybe. Anyway, I did actually meet him at PAX back in September, and I had a lot of fun doing that with my daughter. So, it looks like there's some dirt in here that needs to be cleaned. Let's give it a test clean. Notice it's poison, do not drink. Now notice it's much cleaner there. my Radio Shack butane powered soldering iron. Heats it quickly, cools down quickly, and it's cordless. Radio Shacks are now closed for the most part, but I suspect it's like a Weller brand, which is a good name for a soldering iron, with a Radio Shack label on it. Okay, that's it. I should actually take a photo where all these screws go. I like to use these paint brushes for cleaning. They have the soft tip. Okay. Rubbing alcohol. So I've gone ahead and I've cleaned all the parts off, including these. I took each of these and I put a little rubbing alcohol on and dried it off to make it so it's clean. I cleaned the board, the circuit board with alcohol. The springs, about half of them have a little bit of rust on them, and that's not really going to affect their performance much, so I'm going to just leave it. The keys, they turned out really, really good. They look brand new. They feel brand new. The case here, it looks really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks brand new. This part that the keys were on, could be better, but it's not even going to be seen, so it doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect the function. So I'm going to go ahead and start reassembling this. Okay. Oh, that's what I want to do. I noticed as I was taking it apart, this little black piece came off. And now I know what it is. It goes in here and just helps it align. But there's already 3 others, so it's not a big deal. Plus, with all the other screws, it should be fine. I just need to not sit there for an hour trying to put a screw in when it doesn't go in there. Here's the keyboard. Keys look practically brand new. Let's finish putting this thing back together. And then we can test it. Oh, gotta need to solder this first. Look at that looks very, very good. while I was at it, I cleaned around the sides as well so that it wouldn't be such a contrast. Verify that the keys are all in the right place. Yep, they're all in the right places. It's a very good looking Commodore 64. Okay, let's go ahead and try turning it on. I just hooked it up again. Hope I have it right because I removed the labels when I was cleaning. I have an adapter I got, little video converter I got off of Amazon that basically will take either S-video or composite, and it'll display it onto a VGA monitor. It's supposed to be able to take either PAL or NTSC, so that means if I do a PAL conversion it should be fine. Let's go ahead and commence turning it on. It looks good. Oh wow, the spacebar works much better. Now, another project that I'd been working on is this SD2 IEC that I created using an Arduino Mega and an SD breakout shield I had and some code I found online that I modified a little bit. I just put a few different so far this is working way better than it did before. Running it through my guitar amp, or my bass amp rather, which I'm also running my Windows PC through. In fact, both the Windows PC and the Commodore 64 are hooked up to the same monitor. Now another project that I've been working on is this little joystick. Plan is to put it inside this case. I got a couple holes in it that I need to patch up. And I'm going to do that with some Sigru. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it. But I can use this little board that I made here in order to at least control it, such as the joystick. I actually made this board long before I even thought about getting the Commodore 64 and just happened to fit the bill. So Oh, that's BS. I am not a Pac-Man player. I'm not sure if there's tricks to get all the ghosts to come for you. I was trapped. So, that's that. We got F2, if you can, or F3 switches between one. That tests that. As far as I know, F7 doesn't do anything. F1 starts, but I don't really want to start it. So we're going to go. Oh, that works. Okay, I wasn't sure if that would. I'll try the restore key later. That's more of an orange, even though it's red. That looks yellow. So far it works like a dream. It's perfect. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. So I just wanted to conclude saying I'm very happy with how everything turned out. Works like a dream. I just did want to go over which tools that I ended up using. And so I used a number of paper towels. I used a few kitchen towels. A piece of tape in order to cover the wires. Used Phillips screwdriver for taking off the outer large screws and the keyboard screws. And it happened to be a really good diameter for pushing through the holes. It looks like it's about 1/4 inch or something. Possibly 3/16. Used a screwdriver for prying. Worked for the most part. I used a small Phillips screwdriver for taking off on the back of the keyboard. I used a soldering iron, and I had a lighter for lighting it, because it works really good doing it that way. You could use an electric soldering iron. I also grabbed this cutting board because I was working on a nice table and I didn't want to burn it. Didn't end up being a problem though. Used my Leatherman tool to grab the wires as they got hot, but you can use a screwdriver or whatever. I used a nylon polyester paintbrush for dusting. It works really well. It's very soft on the end. So I get a lot of the initial dust off. I have 2 toothbrushes. One of them's kind of a multi-level bristle, and they're harder bristles, so that works really good for scrubbing. I would guess it's a medium toothbrush, but I don't remember. Then I got this kid's toothbrush, which is a nice soft bristle one. Used a can of air in order to blow off some of the dust. I used a little bowl with some rubbing alcohol, and I needed that for cleaning the little black surfaces, and then also the circuit board for the keyboard. I used a number of Q-tips, and I had 5 various sized Tupperware containers. These are those ones that you're supposed to be able to throw away, but we never do unless they break. And so that's it, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Remember to click subscribe, and thank you for watching.